communication is easily one of my favorite college courses I've ever taken. But if I were to tell myself this at the beginning of this semester, I really would not have believed myself. I was so nervous and so intimidated to take this class. But it's been the best surprise outcome, and I'm so glad that I'm in this class and that I stuck with it. And honestly, Nikki, I owe that to you in this class. This class is so enjoyable for me, and it's just been a place where I've really felt like I've grown as a person. I've always been a pretty quiet and reserved person, and I still am, but I've always hoped to just find my voice. And here in this class, I feel like you're teaching me how to find my voice and how to use it.
Oh my God, so excited for today.
The two movies that stuck with me and that caused my ripple effect were these two. The Dogtown and Z-Boys movie. This really stuck with me because to see how the surfboard evolved and how each person that it started with and that had a part in that served a purpose, and they knew that they knew the worth of the surfboard and how cool it was before everybody else knew what it was and kind of how it was perceived. And this stuck with me because it reminds me that when you get people together for a common goal or like-minded, big things can happen, whether it's for good or bad. Big things can happen when you get people moving in groups for a cause. That really stuck with me because I want to be a part of something that's bigger than me, so bad.
I created a group with some of my friends, and we could just talk about the experiences that we had with mental health and how we dealt with it, how we overcame it, and how it shaped us to be the person that we are. So without you, taking the time out your day to share your side and also bring your husband so that we can hear his side was just like a huge confident booster for me to say that, hey, I'm not alone, that a lot of people in the world are just like me. They go through different phases in life.
Yeah, very rarely do I ever find myself using stuff that I learned from class out in real life situations that I personally enjoy myself. But this class taught by Nikki herself has really defied those expectations from me.
I was just blown away when I first got here. Like when I was reading through the rubric and the syllabus. When I was reading through the syllabus, it was just clear from the beginning that you really care about your students, and you didn't just throw in an assignment. You didn't just throw together a due date, a collection of due dates. You actually put time and effort into your syllabus, and I really appreciated that.
It sparked my curiosity, and I just was wondering like what else was going on during that time. And oddly, I kind of got this new understanding of my family through watching that movie because something inside of me was telling me to keep digging for some reason. And that kind of ties into my ripple effect. My ripple effect is this study that I'm starting, and I don't necessarily know where it's going, but the study is about like my Black culture and what exactly that is.
And everyone brings something different and useful to the group, and I just can see that by how each of us talks in class and what each one of us talks about. And had I not taken this class, I really don't feel like I would have learned this stuff anywhere else, and I definitely would still dread group projects. And you always tell us that group work is inevitable in life, but you're making sure that we know how to work in groups for when they do pop up in life so that we can be successful at them.
That I've learned it's okay to be honest. So from the Challenger class where none of us really watched it, and how your response wasn't frustration, but it was just, you just wanted to know why we didn't watch it. And we took that into a whole nother conversation, which brought us closer as a group. And being in school, most professors or teachers don't take lightly to students not doing their homework assignments. So for you to not respond in the way that I thought you was, and for it to be used in a positive way to where we all learn that it's okay to be honest. And from that point on, we were honest with whatever that's going on.
You also taught me forgiveness, especially with the Challenger debacle that we had where nobody watched the video. You also taught me that forgiveness can happen, and you should not take it for granted when someone forgives you.
This class is also teaching me that group work doesn't have to be horrible, that it can be fun and effective. I've had some really bad experiences in the past with group projects, so I have just dreaded them. And then knowing that this class was called group communication when I came into it was just another thing I was intimidated about. But I can honestly say that I have enjoyed the group work that we've done in this class. And I just feel like all the discussions that we have in this class are giving me personally tools on how to work better in groups and just like help with the overall outcome of groups.
Some of the things that you taught me coming into this class is failure. It is okay to fail, and failure does not mean the end. Just because you fail does not mean it's over and that you can't come back from it. Failure is a part of success. It's not the polar opposite of success. You also taught me that learning can be different. Learning doesn't have to be a 3-hour lecture and this big fancy textbook that costs $300 at the bookstore. It can be videos, group projects. It could be just a whole bunch of assortment of things that aren't just listen to me talk, take down my notes, and have a good day.
I learned educating others from you because you educate us on those type of things. And so I just thank you for how you teach your classes. So I got you in 2. So I thank you for how you teach your classes. I thank you for your honesty. I thank you for being who you are. Thank you.
Yes, we didn't know what we were doing in the first group. The first meeting, but after that meeting, I just felt like it was all smooth from there.
The goal was to get you to cry, but you didn't cry. That's okay. You were speechless, which is good enough. But no, but when we came up with the idea to talk about this class and your effect on us, I was like, yes, because it's like one is it's from the heart. So of course, it's always fun to do things from the heart, and then it's something that I believe like we all trusted each other.
Like in these movies, we're seeing people like taking like who they are and like having a ripple effect with it. So then a lot of the ideas were like, okay, let's talk about like what we did in this or like what we've learned in this class. And then I don't even know who brought it up, was like, well, why don't we take like what we've learned in this class and like what Nikki's taught us and like how it affects us and like what we're doing with it now and how we can continue to like bring it out in the future, like and like create our own ripple effect with that.
How is your learning process different from those other classes to this class?
I get to be me, like free to express myself. Rather than like other classes that I got, it's more sit back and like just listen for the whole time. So it's like I don't really learn anything as opposed to coming here. I'm actually not forced, but like I have a purpose to be in this class.
For example, like you want us to have our cameras on, you want us to be sitting up straight at a desk and just, engaging, which is great. But then I have some professors that are just like, okay, you know, like cameras on or off doesn't matter. I'm gonna lecture to you, and I hope you get the information. So it's like their kind of attitude is like, you know, I get paid whether you show up in class or not. I get paid whether you pass this class or not.
This class, my film study class, I really like. I can honestly say it's one of the rare classes that I actually like try to do what we need to do, because we're so key in like what's going to happen, like, you know, how the class is going to run. Like for other classes, you know, like if say we had to watch a video and I didn't watch it, there's like 20 other kids in the class and the teacher doesn't care if the camera's on or off. So if I don't watch the video, she's not going to be like, well, you know, well, this messed up the whole class because Lawrence didn't watch it, or 10, you know, half the class didn't watch it. You know, they're just going to, like Shane said, they're going to just lecture on, and hopefully you get the information. So
you told us like your vulnerable story. It just felt like we kind of like connected more with you, I would say. Just because like most professors, they like tell you like stories like about their lives and stuff, but nothing ever like that deep or like that relatable too. So I just feel like that just really helped grow that connection too. And professors usually don't let you text them either or give their number out. But I just feel like you're so accessible if we need you. And I don't have that with any of my other professors either.
We just been having information thrown at us, and you know, whether or not you pick it up or not is basically up to you, and whether or not you pass the class or not is up to you. So I kind of, so in comparison to how, you know, how this class is run, I prefer this class, and I think during our one-on-one we talked about it and stuff like that, just how you know I learn better.
I'm really speechless. Like I don't even know what to say.